Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, now with events throughout the year.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Beefo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the creme cram sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good day, and welcome everybody to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We've got a special treat in store for you today. It's a Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival preview edition, and we're going to be talking with some of the visiting talent that's going to be descending upon Fort Lauderdale in January. It's going to be from January 19th to the 25th. Go online to get your tickets today for all the different events at vlfoodwine.com. And leading off, first and foremost, is a very interesting guy, a Renaissance man, kind of like me. He was in the sports world. He was an NFL player. He's a former Miami Dolphin. And then, like me, he gravitated towards food. He opened and operated a food truck in Houston, where he joins us from today, and then went on to compete on Top Chef, was a finalist, and then went on to win the 2015 edition of the Next Food Network Star. His name is Chef Eddie Jackson, and he joins us, and we welcome him to the Lunchbox. How are you today, Eddie?
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I've got a lot of ground to cover with you because
I bet we do.
You are in my wheelhouse here. Again, it's a pleasure. You're going to be coming down to the festival, or I guess coming over. I don't know why we say down. I'm from New York. We go down the map, but you're coming over from Houston, and you're going to be taking part in a couple of events, including the barbecue event that's going to be on that Friday night, January 23rd, along with doing a cooking demo at the Grand Tasting on January 24th. And so just talk a little bit about your connections to South Florida and how you got involved with this event.
Yeah, you know what? I actually lived in South Florida. Obviously, I played for the Dolphins, but I lived in there after I retired. I still stayed there for about 15 years. I met my wife there. My wife is from Hollywood, Florida.
That's where I lived for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I lived in Hollywood. I lived in Dania Beach for a while. I lived in Aventura for the longest. So,
See,
I have strong ties in South Florida.
Nice.
So
and I hear that you're back. Yeah, and I hear your wife is a Seminole, just like Lubie there, and just like my daughter. So condolences to her on the latest.
I know. But it's going to feel good to come back. It's my first time coming back for the Fort Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival.
Oh, great.
Surprisingly, I just came across it, and I reached out. I was like, hey, I want to be a part of this.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, we made it happen. The funny story is the people that put the festival together, they went to high school with my wife. They went to Chaminade, Madonna.
Oh, Phil and Kate, who we love and longtime friends. And I've been supporting the festival since they put it together. And I really am proud of the way it's grown. I've been happy to help support them because it started off in a little park in Young Circle in Hollywood. And now it's grown into this big thing all over the greater Fort Lauderdale region, which is cool. It's great that you lived in Hollywood. Were you along the beach there, or where were you?
Yeah, I was on the other side. I was on the beach side.
Yeah. So
when you cross over, it gets a little weird.
Yeah, no, it's and I lived in Dania a long time too, so we share some common bonds. Let me start with a question that you probably have heard a million times, Eddie. Which, in your mind, is the, I guess, better or harder accomplishment? Making an NFL final roster as an undrafted free agent, or actually winning the Next Food Network Star?
You know what? You're right. I've got this question a lot, and I answer it the same every time. You know, they're both on the same kind of level. And I say that because, I was an undrafted free agent, so the odds were against me, right? So, I had, honestly, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to make this team, right? They got guys that they drafted in the first round. So obviously, I had the skill set to make it, but, I got hurt before at the end of my college career, blah, blah, blah. So I had to work extra hard to make that team.
And that was with the Carolina Panthers, right?
With the Carolina Panthers,
who was the coach
right?
back then there?
John Fox.
Okay, great.
Oh.
John Fox, right? But they were coming off of a Super Bowl game. Remember
Yes.
they lost to the Patriots.
Yes.
The guy kicks the ball out of bounds. The Patriots end up
Yep.
winning. So I was going to a really good team as a free agent, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to make this team. But I knew I had the skill set. I was like, just put my head down, just let me work. And I made the team. So when I was on Food Network Star, I had no aspirations of being on TV cooking. I was just I cooked my whole life and things like that, and I owned some catering companies. And I just said, you know what? I want to be like Guy Fieri. Let me enter this contest. What I didn't know is that I was going to be competing against people that had Michelin stars, had three and four restaurants.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like well-seasoned chefs. And here I am, this guy. I think I probably was about 4 years out of football at the time, 3 years out of football. I can't remember. And I had just started with my catering company, things like that. But I've been cooking my whole life. I come from a family of chefs.
Okay.
And then it was the same thing. I'm against these people that, are so versed and so experienced in this chef world. On paper, supposed to be better than me. I said, let me just put my head down. Just let me work. It was a 3-month process, and I ultimately ended up winning.
Yep. But again, TV, it's not just about, it's not just being a chef and the culinary skills and running a kitchen and managing a workforce. It's having a personality and letting people, see really who you are and your background. And so obviously that shined through. And can't believe it's been 10 years, right?
Yeah, it's been 10 years. It doesn't seem like it. Ever since I won Food Network Star, I've been busy nonstop with Food Network, multiple shows and hosting shows, competing, working overseas. I do a lot of work in Canada still to this day with Food Network Canada. Mm-hmm. Producing shows. And so I've just been very busy and very blessed to get that opportunity, but more so to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, and you've done various things, hosting shows, being a judge on shows, also the Bobby Flay show that you've been on. And I did get a comment yesterday when I guess mentioned that we were going to be doing this interview, and somebody was saying that the Food Network is no longer doing the Christmas cookie challenge, and some people.
Yeah, so we were on for about 8 years. It was a big one of the biggest holiday shows that they did on with Food Network, but they got some new ownership in. They came in at the beginning of the year, so they kind of want to start over fresh. There's rumors that it may come back next year, but so they kind of cleaned house with a lot of the baking shows this year.
That's too bad.
But I think it'll come back because it was such a great show and we have such a loyal following.
Yep.
And I've been seeing a lot of complaints online, like, "What are y'all doing? Please bring it back." So I think we'll come back.
Yeah, these bakers take the holiday season very seriously, and it was a well-watched show. And this woman was very upset that it's no longer, not going to be on.
Trust me, the people have DM'd me asking me what's going on. I was like, sweetie, if I knew, I promise you, I'd tell you.
Right. So now you mentioned your background. I guess it was you learned to cook from your grandmothers, and they were professionals, or they just kind of did church?
Yeah, both of my grandmothers were chefs, so I grew up in the kitchen. I was either outside doing some type of sport, basketball, football, running around, or I was in the kitchen helping my grandmothers cook.
Nice. And, but they say cooking is art and baking is science. Which are you?
Yeah. So the first thing I learned how to do was bake. So my grandmothers were huge bakers. So first thing I would learn how to do was bake pies and cakes, things like that, pastries, lots of pastries. But as I got older and I started cooking more, I was like, that baking is too much science for me. It's too much. I like to when I'm cooking, it's more about feel and touch and taste. You know what I mean? Like I tasted, just put a little bit more of this in there. So that was more fun to me. So I can still bake. In my cookbook, I have a lot of baking recipes, but more so I'm more of a cooking, savory type of guy, open fire cooking, like Neanderthal type cooking.
Yep. Grilling and chilling and all that stuff. Barbecues obviously was one of the things that you did on Food Network, the Barbecue Blitz. All right. I'm going to put on my, literally my Miami Dolphins cap now. And I want to ask you a couple of questions. So you came after your season in Carolina. You came to the Dolphins and played 2 seasons, 2005, 2006. I once covered the Dolphins. I was their beat writer in 1989 through 1992. That's how old I am, the Shula Marino days. I don't even remember. There's been such a coaching carousel. Who was the coach when you were here in 05 and 06?
Are you kidding me? Nick
Oh,
Saban.
jeez.
It was
I've
ridiculous.
kind of blocked that out of my memory. Well, at least it wasn't
Oh
Cam
my
Cameron.
gosh.
What was it like playing for Nick, as we call him, Satan down here? He's not too well liked
Yeah.
anymore. But
You know what? Honestly, it was amazing because, and it was Coach Saban that brought me to Miami because I went to the University of Arkansas and he was at LSU, and we always would we would beat LSU. We beat them like 2 years. They beat us 2 years because it was a big rivalry back then. We played for the boot.
Mhm.
And so I always had great games against LSU. You know, they had these great receivers, and I always had great games. And so when I got hurt my first year in Carolina, and they released me after my second year in Carolina, Coach Saban called and he was like, "Hey, SEC guy, he's like, I want you to come down here." So they signed me immediately, and I played there for 2 years and played a lot too.
Mhm.
And then my last year, my last game with the Dolphins we was playing Monday Night Football, playing the Jets, and I tore my ACL. And then like the next day, Coach Saban left, and I was
Oh,
like, "Oh man, I'm done." But Coach Saban and Bill Belichick are good friends. Bill Belichick called me, and they signed me with the Patriots with a torn
oh wow!
ACL.
And you rehabbed and
Yeah,
you got back into it.
yeah, I got back, and then I got hurt again.
But
So
that's impressive. And the fact that, oh, I remember. Okay, so now it's bringing back memories that Saban, I will not be the coach of the University of Alabama. And 2 weeks later, he was the coach.
yeah, he was gone.
Yes. Did you guys all know it in the locker
He was Lane Kiffin. He was Lane Kiffin before
room?
Lane.
Exactly.
You said it.
Oh man, that's funny. So transitioning from the NFL, and then you get into the back, to your roots in the food business, and you had a food truck called Caribbean Grill in Houston. And how did you get from Florida to Houston, and why?
Yeah, so that was my very first food truck. So I was getting into the food business in Miami, but at the time, now Miami has kind of transcended and become more of a food destination, culinary kind of destination type spot. But back then, it wasn't really like that. You just had your like Caribbean food. You may have a little bit of Latin food, things like that. But now it's just so diverse. But back then, I really wanted to the food scene heavily. And so I was like, well, I need to get back to Texas because I grew up from Dallas. So I grew up in Texas.
Oh,
So
okay.
and Houston is so diverse. I mean, we have Vietnamese, Thai, Korean, Chinese, all types of African foods, and just
Right.
like barbecue and New Orleans and Cajun. So I was like, I want to get back to Texas because it's very diverse. I think I can do something with that. And so I ended up moving back to Houston with my food truck. And then that branched off into, at one point I owned, I just sold it last year, but I had a huge beer garden, about 3 acres. And I had, at one point I had 10 food trucks with 10 different concepts.
Oh wow. Okay.
People can walk to different trucks. It was 3 acres. And then I had 2 huge bars, playgrounds for kids. We had a barbecue set up in the back. Some days we'll do big barbecues. So I had a big bar restaurant for about 7 years, and I just sold it last year and working on my next kind of food project
Next
now.
project. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
congrats on that. And you see, I've switched my hats from the Dolphins to my non-vegan hat, which is what I usually wear when
vegan.
I'm talking
Not
about
vegan.
barbecue. That's it. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's inverse now, but anyway. So well, let's talk about, your time in Miami and South Florida. A lot of people put a knock on, barbecue in South Florida. Did you find any good barbecue spots down here? Did you? What was your favorite restaurants in general when you in your time?
So with me, when I lived in Miami, it was one barbecue place, and I mean barbecue in South Florida is totally different. I mean, once you live in Texas for so long and you eat barbecue here, it's very hard to go other places.
Okay, Austin is all about the brisket and the
Yeah,
and
but
all
South
that.
Florida, that was one place that I went to, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was right by the airport, right on
By
US
MIA or Fort Lauderdale Airport? By
Fort
MIA.
Lauderdale Airport.
Okay.
Uh,
Tom Jenkins or
Tom Jenkins, yeah.
yeah.
So
It's
that was back in the day, though. This was like,
yeah,
2005,
right.
6.
And that was the heyday for Jenkins. It's
Yeah,
been
it was
20
good.
years.
Then I went back, and it was not the same. I was like, whoa, this isn't the same.
It's been taken. The backstory of that place. 2 guys who started used to work at IBM, and they did kind of cookouts as a
Yeah,
side hustle on the weekends.
yeah,
They were
remember
really
that.
good. Irvin, I forget the other partner's name, but they kind of dished it off to their sons, and it hasn't been the
No,
same,
not the
especially
same,
since
man.
the
I'm telling you,
pandemic.
when I first had that, I was like, oh, what has this been my whole life?
But
It was so good.
we got a couple of good spots down here. I don't know if you're going
Okay.
to have any time to do any scouting, but there's a place in West Park near Hallandale called Chef Tally's, world famous barbecue, and
Mhm.
he's a Caribbean chef. It's basically just a big food truck compound, but he gets
Mhm.
set up from Thursday to Sunday. He does a lot of catering. But
Mhm.
his smokers are like industrial, grade, just these huge things set up, and he does like jerk pork,
Mhm.
but like smoked, and so it's like
Mhm.
a mixture of Caribbean flavors
Mhm.
and barbecue. The place is
Mhm.
fantastic. So Chef
Yeah.
Tally's,
Chef
put it on
Tallies.
your list. I
Yeah.
would rank it with anything. It's different style than
Yo, yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's not Texas barbecue, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
got
yeah.
that South Florida flavor.
I'm writing that down now. Chef Tally.
Tally, like Tallahassee. It's Chef Tally's, world famous barbecue. And then there's a place down south in Miami called Apocalypse that's gotten a lot of
Oh,
good
I know
buzz.
Apocalypse. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
those guys. Yeah,
and
yeah.
those guys are good, and they
Yeah,
actually
they're
were
good.
at the festival. Let's talk about the barbecue event. What are you going to be doing there? Are you actually cooking, or are you just going to be roaming around, or
I think I'm just going to be roaming around. So they really brought me in. We just kind of made this happen this summer. And so this will be my first year doing it. So I think the only thing I'm going to be doing as far as actively is doing my demo. But
that's
other
on
than that,
Saturday? Yeah.
because I want to be a part of this every year because I think I'm
Mm.
just South Florida has a special place in my heart. So this first year I'm just doing the demo, but I want to get to a point where I do something like I want to do a big barbecue,
Yeah,
and kind of
yeah.
bring all my my Texas post oak down there.
Nice. All right. That sounds good. Again, the cooking demo will be at the grand tasting. That's going to be on Saturday, January
Yeah.
24th. The VIP tickets are sold out already, and there's a limited number of general admission tickets remaining. That's at vlfoodwine.com, like visit lauderdalefoodwine.com. And you could use the promo code Lunchbox. It's been activated, Lubie. Use the promo code Lunchbox for an extra savings on your tickets. Don't forget to punch it in. I think it's either 15% or maybe even 20. We'll see how generous Phil and Kate are feeling this year, but use that promo code and get your tickets today. All right, a couple more questions, and thank you for being generous with your time today, Eddie. I know you're a very busy man.
Oh no, it's all good.
But I grew up in New York, so barbecue. What do I
I'm
know from
sorry about
barbecue?
that.
I know bagels. I know some Chinese food. But no, I mean I have friends in Nashville, in Tennessee, and the big thing there is like I
Uh-huh.
call the meat and threes. But I've been going on
Oh
more
yeah.
low carb now. So my question for you is, I want to like if you could create a plate, or if you walked into a barbecue joint, and you instead of a meat and three, it would be two meats and two sides. What would the two meats be, and what would the two sides be? What's on your all-star plate?
Okay, so it has to be okay. Let me
All right,
just
I
say
know this
this,
is
okay?
yes.
For anybody out there listening, this is a rule of thumb. You judge a barbecue place based on what?
If you're in
Grits,
Texas, it's
ribs.
brisket.
Oh, brisket. Okay.
If you're in North
No,
Carolina, it's pulled
no,
pork. Oh no, what is it?
no,
Oh, I got it
no,
all wrong.
no.
What is it?
The turkey. Turkey. If
Really?
they have turkey, if the turkey is
Okay.
good, then everything else is going to be great. Because turkey is the hardest protein to get right. It's so dry.
Yeah.
If you eat a piece of
Yes.
turkey and it's juicy and
Yeah.
delicious, well, you're like, well, they got to have everything else right. So
That's
I will
interesting.
ask a real barbecue guy that, and I
Okay.
guarantee you, they all say the same thing. It's the turkey. You got to try the turkey. But if I had to pick two, I'm picking ribs, and
Baby
then
backs or the St. Louis ribs. I'm sorry.
I'm doing St. Louis. St.
St.
Louis,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get more for your money.
Okay.
And then I'm doing brisket, ribs
Yeah.
and brisket.
Because you're from Texas now, so
Texas.
you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to
yeah.
do brisket. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just a Texas thing. If I'm in Carolina, I'm doing some pulled pork.
Right. Yeah, and that's I guess situational. That's what I tell people all the time. When you go someplace, don't
Yeah.
judge it based on what you like. Judge it based on what they do best, which is
Exactly. I wouldn't go to Carolina and order brisket.
no.
It's like going to a seafood place and getting a burger.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, bro?
And it's funny you
Set
mentioned
yourself
turkey.
up for failure already.
It's funny you mentioned turkey because a lot of places down here don't even do the turkey. Our friend Jarrell, who has Fat Boys Barbecue, and he's growing all over the place, he does a really good smoked turkey, and it's the healthiest option too because it's pretty lean and it's moist and delicious. So you're onto something there, Eddie. All right, let's get to the sides. What are the sides that you're looking for?
All right, so with the sides, I like to kind of keep it light because a lot of times you're getting brisket, you're getting ribs, and then you get the macaroni and things like that. It's too heavy, so I like to keep it light. So I may go with like a little potato salad, something like that, a little potato salad, or just give me some bread, some sliced bread, and some pickles and onions. And
Really? Oh, you're old school. Just the plain white bread over the top? Okay.
Yeah,
not cornbread, not jalapeno cornbread, none of
No,
that
man,
fancy
just
stuff.
keep it simple.
All right. Collard
Keep
greens
it-
is on my plate because,
Yeah. See, collard greens and macaroni and cheese is just like it's just like a southern side. I don't consider it like a barbecue side, like a barbecue side. You know what I mean?
All right, I got you.
Like if you like baked beans, potato salad, coleslaw, like things like that are considered, in my opinion, are considered like barbecue sides.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. One last thing. Okay, I'll put my Dolphins hat back on. Do you follow the NFL closely now? And
No,
what do you
absolutely.
think? Okay. And what do you think of what's happening here in Miami?
Okay, I'll put it like this. I think McDaniel is a good coach. I don't think necessarily he's a head coach. I just think he's a really good
Bingo
offensive coordinator or assistant. But I don't think he's I don't want to say leader of men because that's not the right term.
That is.
You know what I mean? I just think he can't
we all had such high hopes. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't control the herd. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But he's a great offensive mind. I just don't think necessarily he's a head coach, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd like to have a plate of barbecue with him, but I don't necessarily want him, calling the plays.
The funniest thing, though, is have you seen the transition from his first day of head coaching to what he looks like now? He looks like so Miami Vice right now, like
he went the meme
Ferrari with no top,
the big meme
the
making
Ray-Ban
around.
shades with the hair.
Right. He went from being the nerd at the Geek Squad at Best Buy to being Tony Montana.
Exactly.
The cocaine kingpin. But you know what? We'll see what happens. Hey, I appreciate your time. Lubie, do you have any questions? Does little baby Luca have any questions for?
Well, Luca is finally sleeping, thank God. Well, I wanted to ask. Okay, he said it. I was going to ask what. It's funny because down here we sort of merge the worlds of Southern and barbecue a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So you answered. I was going to say, what are barbecue legit? Because I've been to Dallas and I've been to Houston. And you're right. Like they'll now have mac and cheese. Like I've been to Dickey's. But the go-tos are baked beans and potato salad and coleslaw. So that was interesting that you said that. But Mayo sort of stopped the thing I always talk about with these guys because I'm a lay person. I grew up where the barbecue sauce, my dad would grill ribs on a grill with gas. So I know that's already sacrilege. He would slather them in barbecue sauce, even more sacrilege. So that's where I grew up. Okay, I put that out. Whenever we have barbecue people, I've grown to learn it's about the rub, and it's okay to have barbecue sauce, but they sort of shirk when it's on the meat. It's more put it on the side. I've grown to learn some of the rules. You're from Texas, so I'm sure you lean Texas style. What are your thoughts on? You said wherever you are is where you lean. What are your thoughts on the other styles or all the styles of barbecue?
Oh, I appreciate all the styles. You know what I mean? I love Texas barbecue just because we kind of let the meat kind of shine. Usually the rubs are very simple here, just salt and pepper and really good wood. But I was born in Georgia, and so it was more vinegar based stuff, kind of like Carolina. So you get more like the mustard and the vinegars and the red pepper. So I really appreciate that as well. Like if I could make my perfect barbecue plate, it would be like brisket from Texas. I'll have pulled pork from the Carolinas, and I'll have Kansas City style ribs. St. Louis ribs. You know what I mean? So that would be my perfect plate. I don't like the ribs in Texas are really good, but I prefer like Kansas City, St. Louis style ribs better.
Do you like
It
them
has more
sauced,
flavor.
or do you like a dry rub rib like Memphis
I
style?
like dry
Yeah,
rub. I like just sauce on the
yeah.
side.
You.
But sometimes the sauce could be too sweet, too vinegary. Just give me the meat and put the sauce on the
All right,
side.
this is why you're on the Food Network, because you have the right answers. That is the only way
Yeah.
to do it. All right, Eddie Jackson. So, do you have formulated what you're going to be doing at that cooking demo at the Grand Tasting on January?
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do because we're gonna be in full-fledged playoff mode. Then leading to the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna do a game day spread
Nice.
for my I have a cookbook called Game Day Eat.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a couple of recipes for my cookbook.
Where do people get that? Is that available on Amazon?
Oh yes, Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, everywhere. Yeah.
All right. Anything else to promote? Where can people catch you next? TV or any other endeavors?
Yeah, I actually got a really cool episode of Beat Bobby Flay. I'll be on next week.
Oh, nice.
So
can you reveal
yeah,
whether
Bobby
you?
Flay, I'll be hosting the whole thing.
What was the theme around it? What was the food ingredient or?
So it's basically it's a holiday show that Bobby does every year, and we bring in the biggest talent there is. So it's like Tiffany Faison, Michael Vitaggio. So they're all going to be competing against each other to compete against Bobby. But I'm like emceeing the whole thing, talking crap, messing with everybody, like doing what I do, just hosting the whole show.
Nice.
So I think that's out on the 17th, the 14th or the 17th
of December. And again, we're going to be airing this throughout the month, so you'll be able to catch
Yeah,
replays. That's why DVRs are there.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's good. Beat Bobby Flay. Eddie Jackson will be on there. Have you gotten tight with Bobby? You know him well?
Really good, really close friend of mine, man. We chat at least once every couple of weeks. Just quick text note. It's one of my mentors in the food world. Really love that guy. He's a stand-up guy.
We run into him occasionally out at Gulfstream Park. He loves the horses, and so do we. So.
Oh, he has horses up north state, upstate New York.
Yeah, up in Saratoga. He loves it.
Yeah,
so, all good. All right, Eddie. Again, Eddie Jackson, Chef Eddie Jackson, not the other Eddie Jackson who played for the Bears and got a $50 million plus contract. Do you get confused with him all the time?
Oh, all the time, bro. And I take it. I play it right along. You know how many Twitter followers I got because of that
guy? I bet you just wish you had his NFL contract, though. Man, he was the highest paid safety at one point. I did.
Yeah, and then you didn't hear from him ever again.
Yeah. But
somebody said that guy's in Aruba.
He's sipping on a rum cocktail. But you, my friend, are still going strong. I'm so glad that you have, discovered your bet. I mean, is it gratifying to have such a, I guess, fulfilling and rewarding post NFL career? Because a lot of guys struggle with that.
You know what? It is. I mean, I went from when I was in college selling plates to my teammates for $5 to cooking on TV. So it was a full 360, and I'm loving what I'm doing.
When you were with the Dolphins, you do any cooking or do anything with?
I always hosted.
Oh, you did?
I always hosted. Like, oh man, I have guys come over to the house in college. We will have chicken wing and jambalaya night. Where I would make chicken wings and homemade jambalaya. And when I played for the Panthers, I would do barbecues at my house. Dolphins, I would do barbecues. I used to live in Hollandale in Ocean Beach 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I say like on the 56th floor. And they was like, no barbecues allowed on the balcony. I was like, I was out there barbecuing, having parties.
You're a renegade.
Blowing ash into the neighbor's sliding door.
Yeah, that's the worst part of that high-rise condo living, that no grill rule. That's tough. All right, Chef Eddie Jackson, we will see you at the Visit Lauderdale.
All right, brother. I'll see you next month.
And we're going to take our first break now. We'll be back with more on our Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival Preview Edition.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old-school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old-school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. It is a special Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival preview edition, and we are now joined by friend of the festival, friend of the show. You've seen him before. You've seen him on Food Network and elsewhere. He is Lord Honey, Chef Jason Smith. Thank you for your patience. You got to see all our great sponsors. How are you today, Jason?
Well, Lord Honey, I'm as fine as frog hair, and I'm tickled to death to be back with y'all.
That's awesome. I mean, the festival keeps growing, and you must, they're doing something right, because it does keep growing, and you keep coming back. So welcome back. And what keeps bringing you back and drawing you to the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Fest?
I love this festival. It is one of my favorites I do through the year, and of course, I keep coming back because it does such great things for the area. I mean, it helps kids out. And everybody just comes and has such a good time. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, much like my waistline, because I just keep eating. But it it's just one of those festivals that you don't feel like that it's uptight.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one of those festivals that everybody's like, oh my gosh, all these celebrities are here and I have to dress a certain way and I have to do a certain thing. It's just like a big family getting together every year, and everybody just has such a great time. They just come as they are and have a wonderful time. We have a lot of great activities. We have a lot of celebrities, but it is good celebrities that's just down home good fun is what it is.
Yes, and as you mentioned, the proceeds, a portion of the proceeds go to the great folks at the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. So again, the motto is eat and drink for the kids. I'm always down with that. And you're going to be kind of everywhere this upcoming festival. And once again, it's January 19th to the 25th. And we got the big ticket events. Go online to vlfoodwine.com and don't forget to use that Lunchbox promo code. It's going to get you 15% additional savings off almost everything, including all the seminars and classes. And you're going to be doing one with Nancy Fuller on Thursday night. That's called Cooking with Bourbon. Before we get into that, I just want to give the rundown of your involvement. Then you're also going to be at the Friday night barbecue at the beach. That's on January 23rd. And then you're going to be one of the judges at the grand tasting on January 24th. And I think you're also going to be showing up at the Sunday brunch. So you are not missing a meal there, my friend. Well done. Tell us a little bit about, I guess, the only thing we got to do is make sure that the weather cooperates at the barbecue this year. It was a little bit drizzly last year, but I've got some orders in, and hopefully we'll make that situation much better. But let's start with the Thursday night Cooking with Bourbon. I know Nancy Fuller, we've had her on the show, and she does like dipping into the bourbon a little bit. And tell us what's going to be happening. And then I have a choice for you here because I'm starting the day off right with, I've got a couple of bourbons here. I don't know what your preferred brand is. You're from Kentucky, but I got two of them right here. So give us a little synopsis of what's going on, and then you're going to tell me which of these bourbons I'm going to be drinking a shot of right now.
Okay. Well, the Thursday, I can done tell you on the bourbon which one you need to drink. You need to do a shot of Woodford Reserve. If you're going to do shots with Woodford Reserve. If you're going to drink, you need to do like Four Roses or Bullet or Buffalo Trace, but shots always of the Woodford. So
excellent.
You get to drinking, I get to talking. So anyway, the thing that we're doing on Thursday night is the dinner, and of course it's hands on. And people come. I've been doing this now 3 years, and they come and they enjoy our recipes. Most of them are all mine, and then they get to cook along with me. And this year it's all about the bourbon because Nancy has a new bourbon, and even though she's from New York, she thinks she's the bourbon queen, but she's not from New York. So, and I keep telling her, girl, you can't make bourbon unless you're in Kentucky. But anyway, they found a way to do it. Her bourbon is very good. And so we're going to set Nancy in the corner on a stool, and she's going to be drinking bourbon and talking about bourbon. And then, of course, I'm going to be teaching the class and showing people how to do the recipe and stuff. And we're just going to have a great, fun night. This is our third year doing this one, and everybody just has a great time. We schedule like 2 hours for it, and it usually ends up being 4 hours because we have that much fun with it.
Yeah, and it's a more intimate evening. It's not like the bigger events like the barbecue and the grand tasting, which, by the way, are the right size. I mean, I know there's some other festivals that you probably go to where it just feels like getting a little claustrophobic and there's crowds and lines, but I got to give props to Kate and Phil because they really have created a festival that even though they have more and more restaurants participating every year, it does still have that intimate feel. But on the Thursday night dinner, I think it's capping at about 30 or 40 people.
Yeah, we do about 40 people, and then of course we're cooking with bourbon, so all the recipes have bourbon in them, and of course if there's kids there, sometimes we shy away from, but we're cooking with it, so we're cooking the alcohol out.
Right.
But we still have all those great flavors, but we're still going to be drinking alcohol. We're going to be having some great bourbon cocktails as well, and then we have several recipes that the people will actually cook with me, and then they get to eat, and we just sit there, we cook, we eat, we have a great time. It's a hoot and a holler, honey, I can tell you.
Have you set the menu yet? Have you done the collaboration with Nancy?
We've tweaked. Well, Nancy could care less what we're cooking. She's like, I don't care as long as you're cooking. I could care less. So
As long as she has one of these glasses by her side, she's usually good, right?
we do have a kind of a menu picked out. We're still going back and forth. But the menu is posted on like the website of Fort Lauderdale. Not Fort Lauderdale. On
Visit Lauderdale.
Lauderdale.
Yep. VLFoodWine.com. Yes.
Yeah. And you can see the class and get your tickets there, and you can see all the recipes. I can't remember every one of them off the top of my head, but we did set that. But they are subject to change just depending on how things go. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, one of the reasons that we love you is because in your email address, it contains the words bacon, bourbon, and butter. I don't have any bacon on me. I told you to bring the bacon in the morning, but I do have a couple of sticks of butter. What is the preferred butter? And do you use American butter, or I've got my fancy, because I'm a food snob, and I've got my European. I got my Kerrygold from Ireland. I've got my Plugra from, I don't even know where that's from, somewhere in Europe. But is there any preferred butter that you use for cooking, or does it matter?
Honey, I'm never going to turn down butter. I don't care where it's made. As long as it's butter, it can be made in America. It could be made overseas. Honey, it could be made down on the farm like we used to do growing up. As long as it's butter, we going to use it. So, because butter ain't cheap. So, I'm one of those. If you send me butter, I don't care what brand it is, I'm going to use it. But Kerrygold is one of my favorites when I do a lot of baking. I will say that Kerrygold bakes better than most butter brands that I have found. So Kerrygold, if you're listening, I love Kerrygold. But it is a very good baking butter. It's a great butter to bake with. But listen, I'm not going to turn butter down. I don't care where you get it from. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, and I'm not much of a baker. I do, do sautés and things like that. And I love using real butter. I mean, I know olive oil, and now everybody's going up in arms about seed oils, and tallow is making a comeback. But I just, butter basting a piece of fish, or even finishing off a steak with some butter. As you say, Lord, honey, that is some good stuff. So
that's right. Can't get the flavor of butter from olive oil or the seed oil or the tallow. You're just not going to get wonderful flavor of butter.
So, have any products or things that you want people to know?
I always hear they're walking by. It's one of those things that's super busy with things that's going on. We've been thinking about working on a third cookbook, and it's not going to happen anytime soon, but we still have the first two cookbooks, so we're on that. And then the third cookbook will come shortly, we're hoping. But then I'm just working. I cooked and all this, but right now I'm focused on Lauderdale food and wine. So, but we've got a lot of shows coming up too.
That's good. I've lost track. Do you still have any involvement, any Food Network shows or series? I saw you did something with Amazon last year.
Yeah, so Amazon, I still work with Amazon. We're working on a new show that I can't talk about. And then Food Network, I do different shows on there. I was just on an episode of Beat Bobby Flay, if y'all haven't seen that. And
okay.
It's episode 1 on season 38 of Beat Bobby Flay. And for all those that don't want to tune in and watch it, I beat him handily.
Oh, wow. Nice. What were you cooking? What was the ingredient?
I made a maple nut tart. So, and it was the same recipe that I made on Food Network Star to get my pilot to win Food Network Star. So, and it was a dessert that he himself could not stop eating when he was judging it on Food Network Star. And he's always said, I never want to go up against you on Beat Bobby Flay and do desserts because you're gonna beat me. It's a waste of my time. I came out And I was like, well, guess who's here, honey? And I'm going to whoop you up. We had the best time. It was a great show. You still need to watch it, even if you know the ending. But it was just a fun show. It was a good reunion show, which Bobby and I are together a lot, especially around Derby time because he has horses.
Yes.
And he's doing the Kentucky Derby stuff. So Bobby and I have become very good friends. But when I walked out, he was like, "Oh crap, this is the one I knew." So
He foresaw it. He foresaw his
it,
own demise a long time ago.
yeah.
Hey,
But
so
Food Network shows are few and far between. They're kind of they're trying to get their footing. They're trying
mhm.
to figure out what they want to do. So we're just in hold with them, but we are working on other stuff with Amazon and Fox and Netflix. So
Well, that's good because we know our viewers and fans love seeing you, and hopefully you will be able to share more when at the festival about other of the projects and Amazon and the cookbooks. Let's get into the barbecue because our first segment we had another one of your Food Network colleagues and past next Food Network star winner, Eddie Jackson.
mhm.
And he also was talking about he also recently did a Beat Bobby Flay episode, and that's always fun. But uh, you are going to be the host and MC of this year's Barbecue at the Beach, which again is
Nice.
Friday night, January 23rd. We have dialed up clear weather, hopefully. What place does barbecue hold in your heart, and what can we expect on that Friday night barbecue at the beach?
Well, in case y'all didn't know, I'm Southern. I mean, that's one thing. Southern is barbecue, honey. Listen, I grew up a barbecuing, and we didn't call it barbecuing. We called it roasting outside over a fire, but we were actually barbecuing. And, in the summertime growing up, it was too hot in the house to cook, honey, because we didn't have air conditioners in the houses. We just raised the windows. So in the summertime, we cooked outside a lot and we barbecued a lot. I mean, honey, if it could be barbecued, we barbecued it. So barbecue is one of those I love to do. And most
Burgoo, that whole Kentucky thing, I get a little skeeved out. You're not throwing any kind of like roadside
No,
animals
you
on,
didn't
on the
squirt it.
open flame,
places
do you?
it was put here to eat, you can barbecue it. So that's just saying. Now I don't think we want to barbecue any armadillos or anything because they just weird. But gator's my favorite. But anyway, so it was I just barbecue is very near and dear to my heart because I've always loved to do it. It's that smoke of the meat and how tender you can get it without it just totally falling apart. Pairing it with the perfect barbecue sauce. Does the barbecue sauce overtake the meat? Or can you still taste the wonderful smokiness that you get from the barbecuing? And so people get barbecuing confused with grilling, which is two totally different things. Grilling is hot and fast. Barbecuing and smoking is slow and long. And that's where you get a lot of your great flavor is from barbecuing and smoking meat. So it's always been near and dear to my heart. And when this concept came up, I jumped all over it. I said, Phil, honey, I got to be the host of the barbecue on the beach. This is made for me. And so we started it and we always done the barbecue battle or barbecue brawl, whatever it was
Right.
called, or around the pool and this and that. And I'm like, look, we need to take this to a beach, honey, and we need to call it the barbecue at the beach. So they were like, oh, this is great. So that's how all that got started. And it was wonderful last year. Other than the rain, we had a great time. But this year, we've got a lot of very good things and new in store. Last year, there was a few things that I wanted to tweak, and so we tweaked them. And this year it's going to be more interactive and it's going to be more exciting than it was last year. So, and Eddie's going to be there with me. And funny thing, Eddie was one of the judges or judge host on Beat Bobby Flay on my episode, which me and
Ah,
have been friends for a long time. Me and him and Reed Drummond used to do a show called Christmas Cookie Challenge
right.
on the network, and we judged it together. But anyway, Eddie's my bald headed brother from another mother. Love him to death, and him and I see eye to eye on barbecue. It's
Yes.
got to be exactly what you tell us it is. If you say this is applewood smoked short ribs, and then you cover it up with all this sauce, and we can't get the applewood smoke, well, guess what?
Hmm.
You didn't do your job. So it's all about the balance of barbecue, and barbecue is very finicky And it's one of those things that people can go wrong very fast or can be right on spot. So barbecuing is, it's most people think it's throw a squirrel on the grill, honey. We got us some barbecue. Well, no, you got to make sure it's
Down here they do iguanas, but I've
Love
never
that.
been brave enough to
had
try
that.
that.
Often wanted to try it, but
Uh, I was supposed to when I was working at the newspaper here. I had it lined up to go out to a cookout with iguana, and so unfortunate. One of those heavy rain, thunderstorm downpours washed out the day, so I never did get to try my barbecued iguana. But again, it's
but
going to be all kinds of great things.
you might get to do it this year because most people don't realize that they actually get to taste all the barbecues that goes on that night too. So
Right.
people buy tickets and they come to this wonderful event. We have drink vendors, we have people offering up different types of wines and cocktails, and then you get to try every barbecue there is there. And
Yep.
people will stand in line for hours for this, and I can tell you it's worth it because we have some of the best barbecue kings and queens coming this year to do some of the best barbecue you've ever put in your pie hole, honey. I
Yeah.
can tell you, listen, your lips and your tongue is going to slap your brains out.
And again, VLFoodWine.com is the place where you could get the tickets for all the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival events and use that promo code Lunchbox for additional savings. It's funny we mentioned barbecue. I was talking with Eddie on the previous
Yep.
segment about South Florida gets kind of a bad rap, weird rap. We have so many different cultures meshing here, but there are some really good barbecue spots. And one of them that we mentioned, it was funny because right after we did the taping, we got word that a longtime favorite in the Fort Lauderdale area, Tom Jenkins Barbecue, is announced that they are closing at the end of December after a 36-year run or so. And again, sad news, but they've gotten up there, the two owners, and they're ready to retire. But so they won't be at the event and they won't be in business anymore. But do you come down when you are in South Florida? Do you check out some of the barbecue places, or just are you impressed with some of the things that you find at the barbecue event?
I do. When I'm in that area, when I'm in y'all's area, I try out as many of the local barbecue places I can find, plus all the other local restaurants, because I'm a mom and pop kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love to find those mom and pop restaurants, those hole in the walls, because they have the best food you'll ever eat in your life. I mean, we can all eat at the chain restaurants and all that, but we can do that anywhere. But finding that local person that has the best food is always on my list. And so that's just something I do. I love. And even while I'm there doing the Food and Wine Festival, I mean, we still have to eat when we ain't there. So I'm always out there combing the area, finding the next hole in the wall to make my taste buds to say, oh my gosh, this is a place I need to talk about and bring people back and bring people in there because I do a show called Best Thing I Ever Tasted,
Right.
ever ate. And, so I like to really focus on those mom and pops, but Lauderdale has great, and even down, the,
Miami.
Beach and Lauderdale area and Miami and all that, there is some great barbecue in that area that most people say, oh, well, that's a cultural barbecue. It's not a Southern barbecue. They're doing more of a Florida barbecue. They focus on barbecuing with like orange wood and using a lot of citrus and stuff. Honey, it's barbecue. It don't matter what you're using. If you're doing it right, it's barbecue. And I love finding those places.
Yeah, no, and I'll drink to that because we do love to support local and independents right here on the Lunchbox. It's what we do. And, I was talking with Eddie about one of the places down here. It's kind of just like a food truck operation, but it's called Chef Tally's, and he blends the Caribbean elements. He does a jerk pork and chicken barbecue. And again, it's low and slow over, live wood, and it's beautiful stuff. Apocalypse Barbecue, they've been part of the festival. They're down in Miami. They just opened. They moved to a bigger spot, brick and mortar. There's some really good barbecue down here. So again, it's like anything else. you got to just hunt it out and find it. So I'm glad that you do that. Now, I'm going to take one more sip of this great bourbon and drink to the local independents. But I'm going to ask you about the grand tasting because you're serving as a judge, as am I, and I love it because Phil and Kate were telling me something I didn't realize, that they have over 75 local restaurants participating in the grand tasting, and they say that is the largest assemblage of restaurants at a grand tasting event throughout the country. They looked it up. Things like, we have a Palm Beach Festival to the north that's taking place this month, about 60 restaurants. South Beach, which is the granddaddy of them all, but they have so many different events that their grand tastings only have about 30 restaurants on each day. Aspen, things like that. So it really is impressive, and the amount of different bites and tastes. How do you approach it as a judge? Because I know I kind of starve myself for a week and don't do my Ozempic intention. But do you judge a lot of events, and how does it go as far as figuring out what the best bite is?
I do. I judge a lot of events. I mean, how do you think I keep this wonderful figure, honey? It's not by eating, I can tell you. But I judge a lot of food events, and I go into judging as I break it down. So let's say that there is four different Cuban restaurants, and what are they serving? And I pair those against each other because that's apples to apples. It's hard to judge a Cuban sandwich against a bourbon bacon ice cream. That's two totally different things. So I kind of look at the overall thing of, okay, here's the 70 restaurants. What is each one of them doing? And then I put them in categories of, okay, this is in one category. We have 10 here that's kind of all along the same line. So those are judged against each other. And that's the way I approach it. And it's always about what they're telling me that their dish is that we're judging. So if they say we're having stewed alligator with cabbage and caviar, well, if I can only taste the alligator and no cabbage and caviar, well, then you get a lower score because I'm not tasting everything that you're saying that's in there.
Yep.
But if you tell me that we're having a ice cream that is crunchy bourbon laced bacon and buttery pecans, and it's topped off with more crunchy glazed bacon, and I can taste the bacon, the pecans, the butter, the cream of the ice cream, and all that, then you've done exactly what you're telling me that you put in there. So,
Right.
and that goes to judging cooking shows too.
Yep.
When you tell the judges what you're making, you need to be able to taste everything.
You got it. And I think we know the key to your heart is butter, bacon, and bourbon. So that's it. Hey, Chef Jason Smith, we thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you at the festival, January 19th to the 25th. We've got to run, but again, we appreciate your time. Get your tickets today at vlfoodwine.com. Thanks so much. And we're going to take another break, and we'll be back after this. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans. Looking for inspired comfort food in a cozy setting? Blue Collar in Miami is the place to go. Located at 6789 Biscayne Boulevard, it moved to Bigger Digs a year ago, now has full liquor, and still features all your old favorites from chef-owner Danny Surfer. Fantastic burgers, the braise of the day, and the city's best key lime pie. And drink specials every day. Open daily with weekend brunch. For reservations and information, go to bluecollarmiami.com. Do you love Italian food? I mean, who doesn't love Italian food? Well, have I got a great new place for you, Elvis Italian Grill. It's at 4261 Griffin Road in Dania Beach, right near State Road 7 and the Hard Rock Casino. It's named for its owner, Elvis. And it has all your favorites, pizzas, pastas, veal chops, fresh fish, lunch specials, happy hour, and has one of my favorite chefs, the wonderful Manuela. There's full bar, great wines, al fresco dining on the deck with a water view. Open for lunch and dinner every day but Monday. For reservations and information, go to ElvisItalianGrill.com. Delicious, the finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information. All right, that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. VLFoodWine.com for all your tickets and other things. It's going to be a great time. All right, until next time.